Idaho paved the way for the wave of legislation targeting transgender student athletes. The law bans those who want to compete on sports teams that align with their gender identity. The governor signed it into law last year.
In response, two civil rights groups filed a lawsuit on behalf of aspiring college track athlete Lindsay Heckox and another student. They are suing the governor to change the law to allow them to participate on the teams. Some national sports icons and activists are also pushing against Idaho's law.
We're joined now by one of those barrier-shattering former NFL coaches, Katie Sowers. She was the first woman to coach a team at the Super Bowl, first openly gay person to do it as well. Katie, good to have you on this morning. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Katie, thanks for joining us. Now,
Thank you for having me, guys.
Yeah, of course. You signed on to an amicus brief against the Idaho bill. So tell us about why you started to get involved.
I got involved because sports, it has changed my life, and it's not because of the wins or the losses or the gold medals that I won. It was this ability and opportunity to work with so many different people of different races, shapes, sizes, religions, sexual orientations, all working together for one common goal, and that's an opportunity everyone deserves.
So, Katie, talk a little more about what do children get out of team sports, and for you, why is it so important that trans kids are not excluded?
Well, I think when you think of this idea of this fairness in women's sports, I think you need to look to the leaders in women's sports, the WNBA, and people who are really standing up for trans athletes, and this opportunity that it gives to not only better themselves as people, but as leaders and as members of this community, something we all should, strive to find in this happiness that we all deserve.
Katie, we're seeing these bills debated all over the country. What do you make of the argument that some people are making that they're meant to protect cisgender women in sports and prevent records from being broken and arguments like that?
I think, again, we need to listen to the leaders who publicly stand up for these athletes. And if we want to spend our energy on this idea of fairness, I think we need to start with the real documented problems that women face, the lower salaries, the fewer sponsorships, the lack of media attention, not focus our energy on this limiting of opportunities for more young women.
And Katie, now, as Joe just mentioned, Idaho isn't the only state taking steps to limit which sports teams transgender and gender nonconforming people can play on. Do you think the federal government should step in to protect trans rights here? Because we're seeing these differences across the country. Is that what you think is necessary?
I do. I think that, that we are moving in the way of progress. And if you're not with this movement, then in my opinion, you are not on the right side of history.
What is your main message right now? We see all these bills being debated and discussed, and I do think a lot of these lawmakers have just never sat down and actually had a conversation with someone who's trans or the parent of someone who is trans and just actually hear their story. I mean, what would be your message to the lawmakers out there who are discussing these bills all around the country?
My message would be, first of all, what is your goal that you think is fair for women? And the opportunity that sports presents is not about, who wins or who loses. And oftentimes a lot of these trans athletes, they just want to participate because of every different type of, advantage that sport brings in the way that it grows us, and get to know somebody who is trans, get to know their story. And if you have not yet gotten to know somebody, reach out, find a way to hear those words, and don't just speak on the opinions that you have in your head.
Katie Sowers, so great to have you on this morning. Thank you for taking the time to speak with us.
Thank you so much.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here, and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.